Amid the solemn grandeur of the inauguration ceremony, all eyes were fixed on Donald Trump. Yet one figure unexpectedly became the center of attention: Barron Trump, a tall, reserved young man whose quiet presence held an undeniable allure. It wasn't the seasoned politicians or the meticulously crafted speeches that left the audience speechless. Instead, it was Barron's presence and his words that truly commanded the moment. But what did he say? And why did his words carry such weight? This moment wasn't just a passing detail, it could be a harbinger of something far greater. The crowd's reaction, the murmurs that followed, and the implications for Barron Trump's future, all will be revealed in this video. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video to help more people discover this unexpected story. Thank you. The 2025 presidential inauguration was one of the most highly anticipated moments in American political history. As Donald Trump stepped forward to take the oath for his second term, the entire world turned its attention to the Trump family. Yet, amidst the ceremony's solemnity, an unexpected figure captured the attention of millions: Barron Trump. His presence alone was enough to spark curiosity, but what truly left everyone in awe was a speech no one had foreseen. Before we delve into that defining moment, let's rewind to understand the path that led to this day and the role Barron Trump played in his family's journey. Washington, D.C., on January 20, 2025, was brimming with anticipation. This was no ordinary inauguration. It marked a rare event in American history: the return of a former president to office in a non-consecutive term, something unseen since Grover Cleveland in the late 19th century. Due to inclement weather, the ceremony was held inside the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol, ensuring a dignified and uninterrupted event. The ceremony commenced with the sacred oath of office. Chief Justice John Roberts stood before Donald Trump, administering the presidential oath. As Melania Trump held two Bibles, symbolizing the continuity of tradition, the final words of the oath echoed throughout the Grand Hall. Following the swearing-in, President Trump delivered his inaugural address, outlining his vision for the new term and emphasizing the challenges and triumphs that lay ahead for America. As night fell, Washington, D.C., transformed into a dazzling spectacle of inaugural celebrations, honoring the democratic process and the president's electoral victory. Thunderous applause erupted. The moment felt both familiar and historic, testament to the nation's enduring democratic tradition. Washington, D.C., became the grand stage for national celebration. The inaugural balls radiated an atmosphere of unity and joy. One of the most significant events was the Commander-in-Chief's Ball, hosted at the Walter Washington Convention Center, where military service members and their families were honored for their quiet sacrifices. The hall resonated with the melodies of Rascal Flatts and Parker McCollum, their performances stirring deep emotions and national pride. The President and First Lady graced the dance floor with elegant poise, sharing moments of gratitude and national unity. Elsewhere, the Liberty Ball at the National Building Museum shone with patriotic splendor. Beneath the museum's towering arches, officials, celebrities, and citizens gathered to celebrate America's legacy. The room buzzed with laughter, toasts, and a renewed sense of optimism as guests raised their glasses, sharing their hopes for the nation's next chapter. Meanwhile, at the Stars and Stripes Ball, held within the Smithsonian Institution's castle, luxury and vibrancy blended seamlessly. Nelly and the village people electrified the room with high-energy performances, ensuring the night would be unforgettable. As the President and First Lady moved between events, they brought a warmth and accessibility that resonated with attendees. Beyond the official balls, the city pulsed with unofficial celebrations. The All-American Inaugural Ball at the Hyatt Regency Capitol Hill stood out, featuring a mix of entertainment and tributes to America's unsung heroes. Every street, every venue bore the weight of history, a citywide eruption of celebrations spanning the nation. The night's performances reflected America's diversity. Carrie Underwood and Jason Aldean filled the halls with deeply patriotic melodies, while Snoop Dogg and Nelly infused the evening with a contemporary pulse, proof that American culture never ceases to evolve. But beyond the music, the speeches, and the dazzling spectacle of the inaugural celebrations, something entirely unexpected was about to unfold. The world watched as the 2025 presidential inauguration marked the beginning of Donald Trump's second term as the 47th President of the United States. All attention was focused on the man at the center of the ceremony. But just beyond the spotlight stood his family, the silent pillars of unwavering loyalty and resilience. They had stood by his side through every victory and every storm, shaping his journey in ways that often went unnoticed. And as this new chapter began, their roles became more crucial than ever. Ivanka Trump, she was never just a daughter. For years, Ivanka Trump had been the bridge between politics and business, navigating both worlds with grace and strategic precision. The president will continue to stand by you every step of the way. And just as the American people have always done, this country will stand together. During her father's first term, she emerged as a senior advisor, championing women's economic empowerment and entrepreneurship. She played a critical role in making women's rights a foreign policy priority at the U.S. State Department, ensuring that vital resources were mobilized. Though she later stepped away from the public eye, her influence never truly faded. She remained a quiet but undeniable presence, a woman who let actions speak louder than words. Even without an official title, her impact was a force behind the scenes. Her understanding of diplomacy, her ability to connect with global power players, and her unwavering commitment to her father's vision defined her role. In moments of crisis, she was the calm in the storm, the voice of reason. Perhaps that was her greatest strength, not in the spotlight, but in the foundation she provided. Donald Trump Jr., the relentless warrior. In stark contrast stood Donald Trump Jr., bold, outspoken, and never one to shy away from a fight. He had always been one of his father's fiercest defenders, unafraid to take on critics and political adversaries with relentless energy. His voice echoed through campaign rallies, media debates, and social platforms, shaping public discourse with unfiltered passion. But behind the fiery speeches and unwavering loyalty, there was something deeper, a profound sense of responsibility, a belief in the movement he was defending. He wasn't just standing up for his father, he was fighting for what he believed this movement represented. His role wasn't just about counterpunching. It was about mobilization, connecting with those who shared the same vision. And as his father's second term began, his voice would not quiet. If anything, it would only grow louder. And then there was Eric Trump. Less visible, perhaps, but no less essential. While others took center stage, he operated behind the scenes, ensuring that the foundation they had built remained unshaken. The Trump Organization was his battlefield, a world of negotiations, strategy, and legacy. He was the steady force keeping the empire running while his father led a nation. Unwavering, loyal. He might not make headlines every day, but his presence was imprinted in every decision, every move that fortified the family's name. And as his father's second term unfolded, his role would remain just as vital. Because when one Trump leads a country, another ensures the empire they built stands firm. And then there was Barron the youngest, the one who grew up under the weight of a legacy he never chose. For years, he stood in the background, quietly observing a world of power and expectation. But something was changing. In his gaze, there was a quiet intensity, a glimpse of the man he was becoming. That's Barron. He's strong, he's smart, he's tough, he's ruthless, he's powerful. Unlike his older siblings, he had been shielded from the public eye for most of his life. But that curtain was beginning to lift. He was no longer just the son of a president. He was a young man writing his own story. And with that, the question arose, what path would he take? Would he follow in the footsteps of those who came before him? Or would he carve out an entirely different course? And then, amid all the speculation, he spoke. His words rang out, unexpected, yet powerful. A fleeting glimpse of something no one had ever seen before. The crowd fell silent, drawn in by a quiet confidence, captivated by an undeniable presence that had fully emerged. But no one could have predicted the moment that would define the entire day. This was not the speech of a seasoned politician. Nor was it a carefully crafted message from an influential leader. Instead, the voice that left an indelible mark on history belonged to someone most had never truly listened to before, Barron Trump. For years, Barron had been a quiet shadow, growing up behind the scenes of a family whose every move was scrutinized by the public. Unlike his father, he had remained distant from the spotlight, avoiding the relentless scrutiny that came with the Trump name. But all of that changed in an instant. When he stepped onto the stage, the murmurs in the crowd faded. There was curiosity, a sense of mystery hanging in the air. What would he say? What could he possibly contribute to such a monumental occasion? Then, with a steady breath, he began. His words were not about politics. They were not meticulously rehearsed talking points designed to steer public opinion. Instead, he spoke from the heart. He spoke to his generation, the young people caught in the turbulence of an ever-changing, uncertain world. With surprising honesty, he acknowledged the struggles they faced, the uncertainty of the future, the pressure to succeed, the rapid pace of a world shifting beneath their feet, the economic instability weighing on their shoulders, the challenges of a failing education system, the feeling of being swept up in forces beyond their control. He did not shy away from any of it. But what made his speech extraordinary was not just his ability to articulate those hardships. It was his refusal to let them define the future. Rather than dwelling on fear, Barron focused on resilience, on hope, on the power his generation held to shape a better tomorrow. He reminded them that every great movement, every pivotal shift in history, began with those who dared to challenge the status quo. That they, too, could build a world where opportunities were not dictated by outdated systems. Progress was not held back by those clinging to the past. Innovation was not just a slogan, but a gateway to limitless possibilities. The message was impossible to ignore. The future was not something to fear. It was something to build. But his speech was not just for the youth. He extended his message beyond generational divides, calling for unity between the young and the old. He spoke of the wisdom that past generations could pass down, the lessons learned through experience, and the necessity of collaboration over division. His speech was not about discord. It was not about blame. It was about finding common ground, about lifting each other up rather than tearing each other down. And then, his words turned to something even deeper. He spoke about something rarely addressed on grand stages: mental health. He acknowledged the silent battles so many young people are fighting, the invisible pain that so often goes unnoticed. He called for change. He called for understanding. He called for a world where no one feels alone in their struggle. His words carried a weight that transcended political divides and social status. For the first time, many in the room realized something profound, that this young man was not just the son of a former president. He was a voice that resonated with those who had ever felt forgotten, unheard, misunderstood. By the time he finished speaking, the air in the room had changed. What had started as mere curiosity had transformed into something far greater, an awakening. This moment, this message, it was more than just a ceremonial speech. It was a call to action, a reminder that the future is not written by bystanders, but by those who dare to believe in something better. Barron Trump had stepped onto that stage as the quiet son of a former president. But when he walked off, he had become something else, a voice for an entire generation. A generation no longer content to wait for change. A generation ready to create it. What do you admire most about Barron Trump? Was he just the son of a former president, or a voice for an entire generation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could spark meaningful conversations and inspire others. If this story resonated with you, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and family to spread the message of hope, resilience, and change. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to receive the latest updates. The stories are collected from various sources and do not represent any individual or organization. They are shared with the intention of spreading human values in life and have been rewritten with the support of AI. If there are any mistakes, kindly overlook them with understanding. Wishing you all the best in life.